the Long Island Nets, I saw him like take over games, and I watch the Long Island Nets games religiously on Facebook or TV or wherever it is. I like to keep up on them because I'm trying to find something on that team that I'd want on the big team. And I wanted to buy into Theo Pinson. I wanted to say, oh, wow, Sean Marks did it again. He found a 6'7" point guard who could play, ridiculous D. And he's not that guy. Like, and then on top of it, he's a year older than D'Angelo Russell. Like, where are they going with that guy? How do you feel about Pinson?
Well, I was just about to bring up the age factor. The age factor also for me is a big deal. This is not a guy who's 20 years old and,
right.
You got to give him time. He's, for lack of a better word, he's a grown man already, you know. And I'll be honest, I don't watch the Long Island Nets as much as other people. And I know they love him for his sideline antics, and he gets the people going. But
yeah, I think I really think they signed him. I think they signed him to dance. I think they signed him. I really do. I think he became kind of like the logo or the mascot for the team, and I think they signed him to dance.
I can't even argue with you on that because I can't think of a reason why they did sign him. I don't know what they see.
Yeah.
Now, I tend to give Sean Marks the benefit of the doubt most of the time because at one point when Spencer got here, I was like, what is he seeing this guy? I just don't see it. But I know there's no way in hell I expect Pinson to reach that level, but maybe there's something that they see on a day-to-day basis in practice or they saw in Long Island that we just don't see. But I'm like you, it's a problem. And it's only a problem because Irving's out and he needs to play. Spencer Dinwiddie's not going to play the whole game. Right. And his minutes are very important because the offense, they didn't need to score points and they're having problems scoring now. And it just seems like maybe what they should do is play him off the ball maybe. I don't know if that would help, but
they've played him everywhere. They did a nice thing today because it looks like Moose is a better ball handler than he is. And so what they were doing, they were playing him off ball, but he wasn't making shots. He just and the thing that really is disappointing about Pinson is he doesn't make shots and his defense is atrocious. Like
there's nothing there. I know people would make fun of D'Angelo Russell sometimes and say he doesn't play any defense. Yeah. But if you see them two playing defense, it's not even close. I'm not going to say he's like James Harden because that's terrible, but it doesn't even look like he knows what he's doing. Like he's just moving. He's looking at players. It's weird.
Yeah, now, James Harden plays physical D. He plays enough defense to make his offense worth it. You know what I mean? It's like his offense is so great. I mean, I'm saying it backwards. His offense is so great that there's a level of defense that's understandable. But Theo Pinson does neither, and it's just ugly every night. I really don't get it.
And if people have followed me for years, know they go back how much I hated Lin fans and all of that. I'll take Jeremy Lin over this guy now.
I'll take Jeremy Lin every day, all day, almost half this team right now.
And I'm not trying to belittle Jeremy Lin. I'm just making the point that anybody who's followed me knows I've gone back and forth with Lin fans forever. And at this point, at his age, I'd even take him over Pinson because I don't know. To me, he's not an NBA player, which I'm gonna bring up Musa because. I don't want people saying, oh, my God, you have so much faith in Musa and he hasn't done anything. The difference is I see things in Musa. I see he's not hitting shots now, but he can. I've seen him do it in a little bit of games I have seen in Long Island.
I'm glad you brought him up.
Even the Nugget game, he hit a couple of shots. He attacks the basket. He's a little reckless. But he's not afraid, and that's what I love. He's not afraid. And again, there's a lot of people that have seen Bam. Let's bring up Bam. Bam. He'll bring a Musa and he'll say, "What do you see in him?" Mm-hmm. And I say, I can't tell you what it is. He has something. He has a skill set that I think can translate, and that's why I think he was drafted. I think at 6'9", he can handle the ball. He clearly has no problem attacking the rim. Maybe he's not finishing as well as we want him to, and he does turn the ball over. But he's 20 years old, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to say, without cutting you off, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm willing to be careful and give Musa time that I'm not willing to give Pinson.
But that's the thing. That's the key to the whole conversation. You're willing to give him time, but time for what? Like, nothing is going to happen to, like, Theo Pinson is who he is. He's 24 years old, right?
Yeah.
Musa is 20 years old, right? Mm-hmm. He was a 19-year-old who had just moved from a completely other country, coming into the biggest city in the world. And I'm sure he probably, and the same thing happened to Rodions as well. Like, you know, the Nets talk about culture, and supposedly, you know, obviously that's his personal life and everything like that. But, you know, who was the support system for Rodions when he started dating a woman that was like 12 years older than him? There's things going on with these kids' lives that could go really out of control, because they're so young. They're children. Like, I have a 17-year-old and it's a girl, and the girls are like 5 years ahead of the boys no matter what. And you know, it's like a crazy person in a grown-up's body. It's very funny to watch, and just to think about how dumb I was at 20 and 21. These guys have millions of dollars, fame, and they can't hide anywhere, because when they walk into a room, they're 6'9". Like, you don't just see 6'9" people walking around, and you see a young 6'9" guy with nice clothes on, and you know that's probably an NBA player, and that attention and all of that hurts. But I'm glad you brought up Musa, because I want to ask you if you noticed something. I witnessed the phenomena when the Knicks first got Carmelo Anthony, and it felt like the team split in two. There was the team that was from the year before, that was all the young guys that were used to running D'Antoni's system, and then Melo came in, and Melo had his boys, and the locker room split in half. Like, you had the feel-good players when the Knicks were that gutty team and trying to make something out of themselves. And then Melo came in with J.R. Smith, his guys, so on and so forth. I'm noticing something, and I don't like to read body language. I don't like to try to read lips or look at it. But whether it be when Kyrie tried to throw Musa across the court to defend on the other side, when really all Musa was trying to do was to help defend on Kyrie, who's a horrible defender. I see Taurean Prince chewing him out. I see, you know, him not getting as much love and support from the team. I'm wondering if Musa is pressing because of some locker room dynamic that he's not a part of, because he's not a part of that young squad that kind of was led by D'Lo, and they were such a tight-knit unit. I feel like there's two teams. It's the guys that Kyrie and KD picked versus the guys that was there, the feel-good guys that was there last year. Are you noticing that?
Well, I noticed watching today, there was a play in which Taurean Prince had a post-up going on, and he had Musa wide open. And it almost seems like he looked at him and said, "You know what? I'm gonna go for this fadeaway again." Something he shouldn't be doing.
He shoots. He's the lowest percentage of starting power forwards from two. He is the worst in the NBA at shooting.
That doesn't surprise me. Now, when it comes to that, I don't know if that's just, again, him trying to do too much or him not trusting Musa yet. And I hope what you're describing is not what's going on. I'm going to say, though, that I can't say that that's not happening because, it seems that way sometimes when they're on the court. And I can bet, he knows who's hurt. He's trying to make an impression on Kenny, and he's trying to get minutes, and he's trying to produce.
He's fighting for his NBA life right now.
Yeah, they were talking about it on the telecast that he wants to get the respect of the players. Mm-hmm. So maybe that is happening, and maybe he is trying too hard. I can't say that's not happening. I'm just hoping that it isn't, because at this point, it's the beginning of the year. I would say it's probably frustrating. They probably are upset that the record is the way it is and the injuries don't help. And for the first time, there's a lot of attention, more attention than ever before. So,
but that's where Sean Marks has to.
And a couple of guys are new. So, I want to say that it's been 13 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
13, maybe 14.
Yep.
The time for saying about the chemistry not being there and there's a lot of new players, that shouldn't be happening anymore. We're 14 games into the season. They went into China together. I don't want to hear no more complaints about China or about chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely don't want what you're saying to be true. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm saying I don't want it to be true because they're going to need these guys. The best thing that can happen for the Nets now is for guys like Claxton, guys like Musa, guys like Allen to get more involved, more confidence. So when these guys ever come back and they're finally ready to play, wouldn't you want those guys battle tested? Wouldn't you want those guys confident? And wouldn't you want Durant and Irving to be confident in them? Now the whole Irving thing, I know it's going to get a lot of play because it's Irving. And I'm going to be honest, it didn't look good, the whole shove. There was
it was like he was discarding him. It wasn't even like he was like LeBron did something similar to that where he was moving Kuzma around, but he was putting Kuzma in position. Like what Kyrie did to Musa was he just discarded him, like, get out my way.
Yeah, he just tossed him. Yeah.
And Musa's way bigger than him, but he's a young kid, and it's somebody that when he was in Europe that he was watching like, oh my God, Kyrie Irving, and he must be awestruck seeing Kyrie Irving and being on the same team as him. And I'm looking at him play offense, and that's why I know something is wrong with him, because Musa, offense isn't his problem, not at all. Offense is what he does well, but he's doing a better job at mucking up the game, playing defense. And he looks a hell of a lot better than like these other guys, Nwaba, and who I think Nwaba should play more than Garrett Temple. But
yeah, of course.
But Garrett Temple is not. And again, it's about these minutes are investments, right? You're giving minutes to players who can only get worse as the season goes on. Right? Garrett Temple could only get an injury there, a nick there. He could lose confidence. He's not gonna if you fill John and Musa or Claxton with some confidence where they know how to do something in those late April games when the veterans have knocks and have injuries, those are the guys who will pull you through. And I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like I even was analyzing tonight where everybody was sitting. And it just seems like, and if you look at the bench, there's last year's happy-go-lucky team, and then there's this year's, free agent mercenary team. And I'm very worried. And that's where a good GM comes in, because you have to have the leadership enough to say, our culture is more important than anybody else. And so far, I haven't felt that. So far, I'm seeing even more culture dividers coming in the team. I'm watching Shumpert